everybody. Welcome back to KKOA. Me and Chris Falin's down here at Pickwick, and just terrible storms this morning. And so we went out and scouted a little bit, found a couple places that we want to fish at, but we got a project here today. Chris, while we was out yesterday, you'll see we stopped at Frontier Outdoors down in Kingston, Tennessee, and he decided to get the rudder kit from NuCanoe. So going to be a brand new install for both of us. So we haven't even watched the video yet. We're actually going to try to do this, what most men won't do. We're going to try to read the directions. And Chris is laughing over there because we're working on another project we're not filming right now to try to fix it. So, but anyways, just stay tuned. Hopefully we can give you something to help you out a little bit. And then at the end, we'll give you kind of our opinion, our review of what we kind of think about it. It looks really good. The quality of the parts is unbelievable. Chris just mentioned a minute ago, just looking at this rudder. This rudder is, you know, I like that. It's got a really good spring action if you hit a rock or something like that. I mean, actual metal, you know, connector parts for the cable. You know, obviously, like everybody else, it's probably made out of some kind of Delrin or what is it? Titec? What is it? Kydex material, probably some kind of plastic in that sort. I should know that because we actually machine that material. But anyways, but metal back here for the back. This is the anchor point, just like you would for if you're putting a motor on there, 2-horse motor or something like that. But you can see it's got the rudder attachment right there. So stay tuned. Chris is going to kind of be the cameraman on this, so we're going to read some directions and take it a little bit step by step and try to give you some good film on it. So stay tuned. All right, here we are. We're going to get started here. So this is let's see if he even gives it assisted. This is the transom part. Take a look at it. I showed you a little bit earlier, so we're going to start with it. So make sure there's no kind of debris. We got to put a plug in here to do that. So I'm just kind of making sure there's no debris or anything that might cause some kind of, just seeing how it fits. It comes with this. It's really just a bushing. Really just a bushing for the inside of the hole on the back part of your transom. Right here. Oh, it looks like we might have to do a little bit of get a hammer out. We always like to get the hammer, don't we? Comes with a long bolt that goes through it. Obviously a wing nut, flat washers, and a lock washer and a nut. So I don't know if y'all can see that or whatever. So very simple install. Maybe this goes through this way better. So I'm going to try this first. All right. So obviously they want that to be tight. So it's a little tight. So there we go. There we go. Not as bad as I thought. Just a little bit, probably a little bit of burring around there where they made the kayak on there. I'm just going to check my directions. Looks like everything's probably going through the back side. Yep. So the bolt nut. So you put the flat washer, the split lock washer, and then the nut on the outside. And really all you do is line up the hole. I'll make sure I get this right here. I lost the washer. This all goes on the back side. Slide right in. They do give you a little bit of I guess I don't really know why that's sliding unless there's quality control at the plant, you know what I mean, for up and down if it's off just a little bit. So put your flat washer on. Your nut actually, the nut actually goes inside this right here. So it's not you don't it ain't even actually inside of there. You just drop this nut inside of that. So if y'all can see that right there, and then there's your lock washer. So Chris, if you want to come over here and get a better look at this over here, just pick it up and move the camera over here. So you got your flat washer, got your lock nut. Here's your it's a little bit of a funny design, really. You would think that nut would be already casted in there, but you really don't need a wrench. So I guess this is why the possibilities are unlimited, right? That's what they say, right? So everything. I
like my new job, cameraman.
Yeah, Chris said he likes his job a little bit better today. He likes not being on camera, but he don't mind being cameraman. So,
I got a good voice for TV.
Yeah, he's got a great voice though. So that to me looks like it's probably a 7/16. It does. I noticed it does turn just a little bit because there's a lock washer on our side. But I'm gonna look and see on the directions real quick and how much we got to tighten it. So we got that far right there. You got the transfer mount on. Stay tuned, and we're gonna get to the next part. All right. We, you know, of course, we're trying to pre-assemble this just a little bit, just kind of make a better video for you. But we got the rudder situation here, and I can't see what you can see, so Chris back here. But obviously, this is, you know, what'll raise your rudder, you know, up, down, and then this is just got a push pin, ball pin that snaps in down there. But I did notice right off the bat that this is really tight, which me and Chris said that's probably what you want. It's really tight. I just don't like forcing stuff. It makes it a little bit hard. So when you're trying to, you know, line it up. Matter of fact, I'm struggling a little bit trying to find the hole. There we go. I got it. All right. There we go. So I don't know how this is going to be on camera right here. But I like to show it for real. That way if NuCanoe sees this, you know, they probably make sure it looks really easy. But there we go. So I got it started. Woo! And it's really tight at that bottom one. So probably gonna have to let me get a hammer here. But like me and Chris said, that's probably the way you want it. I don't want to force it. But it is in the hole down there. It's just tight. Uh-oh. Hold on just a second. But really, at the end of the day, these are the videos I like to see. I like to see the ones that show, you know, not them pre-recorded. You know, they did it 50 times. You know, you're seeing it for... But it does. You can see it's just really good tight tolerance on that pin down there. And there we are. So, and moves really good. So, there's up. Hit a rock. Go up. So stay tuned. We're going to get over here and get a better shot at putting this ball pin on. All right, now we're going to hook up this your cable. They've got a really nice. I like the way this is built. Even though it's still plastic, but it does got a metal cotter pin. But really good quality in that aspect. Then they got a really good cable attachment here. It's metal. That's really good too. So. You'll notice though, if you're looking right here, they do got an indent right there cut in there, a groove. So you just pull this. It's very simple. Pull the cotter pin. This raises up. You see exactly where that needs to go. Make sure this rubber, I did notice that this rubber moves. So that pops back on there. And when you get that installed there, you'll notice this clamp actually holds that rubber. So I think that's exactly the way it should go if this pin goes back in. So. Whew, it's a little tight. So let me see. Maybe that rubber is supposed to go on after. So okay. Yeah. So I guess it's not really designed to for that rubber to be inside there, because you'd have to force it. So but we'll double check the directions on that as well. So, and then of course you got the plunger here. I would be very careful about this, because this would be a good way. If this gets cross-threaded, that wouldn't be a good thing. So
note to Chris.
yeah, a little bit of an inside joke there, but and obviously they don't tell you how far that's supposed to go up in there. But then it does have a, I'm going to just double check it here to see how far we got it up in there. So it was up there a little ways. Matter of fact, let me check something. There, give you a good shot of how that actually moves that back and forth. And we'll finish tidying this up right here, and then we'll go to the front. There we go.
Now it's recording.
All right, we're back now. We're getting ready to connect the cable to the, and so earlier I'll just be honest with you, I tried to do it with this already attached. You can't do that. So leave the cable loose like this right here, and insert it, and then you can actually turn it this way, because you'll know that you got it in there good, not cross-threading it, because it goes in pretty deep in here. So I'm trying to do it in a way where y'all can see. It's a little bit, because you're turning the cable, it's a little hard to be able to do it. Just make sure your nuts back all the way. But once it gets in there and gets started good, but I want you guys, this way you know you cross-threaded it. So you see how deep it is? I bottomed it out, and then we'll tighten that up, that nut right there, when we're sure that's exactly where we want to have it. So we'll leave that to the end. So pull your little pin, open this, pull it back till that snaps in, and put your cotter pin back in. There you go. So obviously if I go up, you can see that back and forth. So all right, so we're now going to move to the front with the foot lever. So stay tuned, we'll get the camera set up and we'll get that on there. All right, we're right up here up front. We got the, you able to get a good shot of that. So you got the, I think this is really cool. Hands-free. Think about it when you're doing kayak tournaments and stuff. You know, Chris will be able to be up here and, you know, be fighting a fish, and can steer left or right or whichever way he needs to go. The other thing too, he runs a spot lock, and so XI3 of course, spot lock. He can set it on the straight lock and still control the kayak with his feet to move back and forth to the left and right. So I think it's really cool. One thing about these NuCanoes, I don't own one, but more and more Chris is showing me about his. I really like it, of the unlimited options, as they say, that you can do with it. I was telling him earlier, I really like to have it. I wish they'd make it in a 14-foot, but maybe there's a reason why they don't. He's telling me I really need to get in, and he's going to give me a chance to get into it this weekend. So I'm really excited about that, just see how it feels. And so we'll get back to this. So you got your foot steering here. It just goes on your inside rail like this. It does tell you to go ahead and connect this one first before you do the bolts. But I wanted to show you something here that we just noticed that I didn't see originally. So you got your Mighty, or your Yak Attack bolts here. One thing I want to just tell you, I just told Chris, I just noticed these are the type that do not have the brass inserts inside them, if you can see that. Maybe if it's something that you're not moving a lot, I'm not, you know, dissing anybody out there, but obviously they got the Yak Attack brass inserted ones, so much better quality. And now me and Chris was just talking about it, you know, something you don't move a lot, But anything that you're going to move and readjust, these are just tapped plastic. They're going to strip out. They're going to, you know, get loose. And so we're going to put these on here for right now. But I've showed him those from Yak Attack. Plus, I just did notice for the cable, they do give you some of the blue Loctite. We're at this point in time, we're not going to put it on there until, I'm not telling you not to, but we're just not going to put it on there until we got everything adjusted the way we want it. He gets it out there in the water, see if we want to change anything, because I don't want to have to be trying to get that off until we know you got it where you want it. So that'd only be advice I'd have, because this does come out the blue Loctite, but with this cable, I wouldn't want to be putting a wrench on it and burning it up and taking the chance that it wouldn't move in and out. So that's strictly up to you. Maybe NuCanoe out there will kind of get on me if he sees this video, but I just wouldn't do that right now. So let's go ahead and put this cable on. Same kind of ordeal as the other. You know, you screw it in. Now, this might be a little bit different. I know why they probably want you to put this on first, because we might have to end up spinning this actual full product now, because you know, person wanted to, he probably could take that off and do it that way, but we're going to see what we can do here. I'm just real worried about stripping it. So because it is really hard to feel this thing if it started or not. Ooh. Once you get it started, you'll be all right. But see, now I can't spin the cable like I did back in the back because it's connected in the back. So you don't show it in the directions, but I'm actually going to just take this off and then screw that on there and then put it back on. So stay tuned. All right, so obviously we haven't watched any of the NuCanoe videos and stuff like that, and maybe you can go over there and see something different, but I think for this situation I'm going to just take this loose right here, and I'm going to see how it is. It's just a nut on the outside, which I'm going to lay right here, and then it's actually screwed into that. And I'm going to leave all that together. So there's a washer there to hold that on. I'm not going to mess with the distance of that or anything like that. And I'm going to just take it over here. Look at that. See? I think that's much easier than trying to fight with that cord. And maybe they do it in their video. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't watched it because I wanted it to be fresh to how you know, us just figuring it out and doing it. So once again, I'm not going to tighten that little lock nut up yet till we get it all adjusted. So now that I got it adjusted, I believe it went on this side right here. So I'm going to put that back in there. It's a little bit awkward the way that's built. And it wasn't tight because it's got to be able to move. And put this nut back on like so. Get my wrench. All right. One thing that we was just speaking about that I didn't know about that Chris kind of let me know was he just found out too, is that all like the nuts and bolts and pieces and parts are warranted. Like if you get it and be missing another bolt or whatever, all you gotta do is get on their website, go to replacement parts, and it's 100% guaranteed for life of the boat. So that's a good thing to know. We don't really quite know. I think there's some kind of lifetime warranty on the whole everybody has a little something, but we're not sure about that one, so we didn't want to mention it until, you know, it's something you can look up on the website. Just go to NuCanoe or call them. So now all you do, well, I do see one problem that we have right here. This is not good. That's kind of, we're going to have to go forward a little bit. All right. Maybe not a problem. Depends on where Chris wants it at. So, all right. So,
I am short-legged, you know.
I know. He's already telling me I am short-legged. Okay. Well, now I almost messed up here, so I forgot. We got to do, I don't know if y'all can see this. So now we have to put this in here. So gets a little awkward because every parts are trying to move, and so now we've got to put this in here, lock it down, put the cotter pin in. I think it was in this way. All right, we're locked in now. Okay, that really shortened it up for us, for that short leg guy. All right, so we had to rearrange there. You see how we had it adjusted out here at the back with the eyelets. We're just trying to keep it clean, keep the cord out from being underneath something that, with him rigging and stuff like that. So the last little part, really, very simple, is just line up your peanuts. And you can see it just falls right into place. The only thing me and Chris was talking about is that we get a little upset about, and I always just double check them, is these screws. They do loosen up. That one is tight. I don't know why they don't use some kind of flathead screw or something like that. Me and Chris were talking about that. That makes it a little aggravating. But because see, that one's really sitting on a screw right there, and that's the other thing I don't like about these plastic. It's hard to tell if you got them on there right. There we go. I've got some of them in my box here that we've come down here with, so I'm going to replace these out for Chris when we get done with this video. But I just really want to get it snug to show you guys. Now, if Chris can try to get a good picture back there, I just wanted to show you how this works. So, making sure we ain't got any binding up system here. There it is. Can you see the back, Chris? Can you show them?
Yes, I'll walk around.
So obviously you put your foot up there. Up would be to the right, and down would be to the left. So y'all can see that back there. Pretty good system. The only thing we have left here is trying to figure out his pull cord, which they do, which these are pretty self-explanatory. You know, comes with the nylon, comes with, almost looks like a Hobie, looks like a Hobie handle, and a D-ring. Couldn't think the name of it. Thank you, Chris. So obviously that's going to hook back here. I don't know if this flag's in the way.
No, it's not.
So it's going to hook right here for you to be able to pull yours up. Now Chris has got that dead in the center there. I don't know, we might have to work around that a little bit. Maybe he might have to turn it to one side or the other and then pull it up. So it's really no big deal. It's just kind of got to know. So anyways, I hope this video helps.